Chapter 7. Accept who you are. It's easier to accept the mistake of others than the ones we make ourselves. First of all, we need to fix this particular way of thinking and realize that everyone makes mistakes. We're only human after all. When you learn to accept yourself, warts and all, you'll discover that life becomes more fulfilling and beautiful. Everything becomes shiny and new, and it's like you're seeing the world for the first time, in HD no less. Creating the right reality would be difficult for you if you're not willing to let go of the wrong one. The inability of letting go of the past is one of the reasons people remain stuck in unfulfilling jobs or relationships. No matter how shitty your situation is, the first step to improving it is acknowledging it for what it is. There's no need for sugarcoating. Self-acceptance only comes when we value every part of ourselves unconditionally, no matter how uninspiring they might seem at the time. You need to acknowledge all of yourself, both the good parts and the ones that need improvement. Accepting who we are can be pretty tricky for some of us, especially when we tend to be critical of various aspects of our lives. There are several ways we can learn to accept ourselves, but it all begins with your mindset and willingness. You need to recognize your flaws and admit them before you can start creating a better future. Denying the bad parts of yourself won't make it go away. Instead, it'll just make things keep building up within you until you reach a tipping point. The only way to create room for more positive experiences is to deal with the bad ones, but it takes a lot of practice for this to happen. Try not to allow the fear of what others might think of you when you see your mistakes and flaws to prevent you from accepting yourself. No matter what you do, even if you're a saint, people will still have something to say about you. But once you accept every aspect of your life for what it is and assume the right mindset, you won't care as much about what they think or say. How self-acceptance and self-esteem are related. Self-esteem and self-acceptance are two different things, even though they're related. The former has to do with how worthwhile or valuable we see ourselves, while the latter involves accepting both the good and bad parts of our lives. When you're self-accepting, you'll find out that you're able to embrace all aspects of ourselves, not just the elements that make us feel good. Unlike self-esteem, self-acceptance is unconditional and has no qualifications. It allows us to become capable of recognizing our limitations and weaknesses without letting them affect our aptitude to accept ourselves fully. The quickest way to improve your self-esteem is to explore all the negative parts of yourself and accept them. Doing so would allow you to work on fixing the issues. Self-acceptance plays a major role in improving our self-worth and confidence. It's only when we stop judging ourselves too harshly that we get a more positive sense of who we were supposed to be in life. What determines our ability to accept ourselves? Most times as kids, we're only able to accept ourselves to the level that we feel accepted by our parents and family. Research reveals that children below the age of 8 lack the ability to express a separate and clear sense of self-acceptance other than what has been transmitted to them by their parents or guardians. What this means is that if we grow up feeling worthless, inadequate, or unaccepted by our parents, the chances are that those emotions would stick with us for a long time. While the damage isn't irreparable, it takes time and determination to shed that mindset. And if we fail to find self-acceptance before having kids of our own, we might end up continuing the cycle with them, whether we do it consciously or not. Cultivating a more self-accepting attitude. Having an unconditional acceptance for ourselves would be easier for us if when we were kids, our parents conveyed a mostly positive message about us, or if we grew up in an environment that was generally supportive to us. But since that wasn't the case for most of us, we need to learn how to certify ourselves on our own. Research shows that happiness and self-acceptance go hand in hand. In most instances, your level of bliss is determined by how you value yourself. A lot of people don't feel like they deserve to be happy because one thing or another. But that shouldn't be the case. Everyone deserves happiness. We just have to work to ensure that we get it. When we understand and forgive ourselves for mistakes we made in the past, then we can work towards developing our self-acceptance. You'll find out that you'll sleep better when you don't have much to worry about every single time. Here are a few tips to help you on your path to self-acceptance. Accept all your faults and imperfections. Instead of focusing on the things we can't change, why not accept them for what they are and move on with our lives? If we keep trying to make adjustments to our lives, the chances are we won't like what we'll get in the end. Adopt more positive self-talk. The way you talk to yourself plays a major part in how you accept yourself. If you're always fond of belittling yourself whenever you make any little mistake, you'll find out that your self-esteem levels would plummet. Make a habit of complimenting yourself over small achievements and positive qualities you adopt along the way. Do this every day until it becomes a routine practice for you. Accept that you can't make everyone happy. Don't base your decisions on how other people would react to it. Do something because it feels right and works for you. Eliminate negative and toxic people from your life. Identify the negative and judgmental people in your life that are always bringing you down and sever the ties with them. Separating yourself from these kinds of individuals would prevent them from getting inside your head and undermining your ability to be more self-accepting. Adopt self-care routines that help foster a sense of self-worth. Eat healthy foods. Exercise more. The endorphins they release are great for self-acceptance. And sleep more.